Hello and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Thank you for joining me, or I should say us, for another Crystal one-on-one conversation. We are on location at the lush green La Casita Restaurant and Lounge, located along Intindertu Road. It's a great spot if you're looking for a hangout, a place for your meetings, and for your functions as well. Now, my guest today is someone that I kind of just bumped into, but 5 minutes in, I'm like, yes, I have to have her on the show. Have to have her on the show. She has such wonderful energy. Now, you probably know her from the show Kampala Creme. She is one of the cast members. She's also the owner of Bougie and Sage Farms, along with her fiance, Michael. I do have Debbie Nantongo, or Mami Deb, joining me today. Hello.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm good. I'm happy to be here. What an honor. It's a serious honor. I'm so happy to be here.
Thank you for joining me.
It's my absolute pleasure.
You know, and I met you, I was just like, oh wow, oh wow, oh wow.
Yeah.
I mean, you have this huge personality about you,
you.
but a very nice one. Let me just say,
Yeah.
that sometimes when it's big and you're like, oh
Yeah.
no, but this
when I meet
lovely.
people the first time, they're like, it's a bit much. But then I get to grow on people.
Have you always been like that?
Yeah.
You've always been big and bubbly
Yeah.
and yes?
Unfortunately, yeah.
Where do you get it from? Is there someone in your family like that?
I think because I'm the loudest out of all my siblings. And my mum's not loud. My dad talks a lot. Like me and my dad can sit and talk for at least 2 days. Like
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know. I've always been bubbly. I've always been a happy little bunny.
Because
Yeah.
sometimes when we have these big personalities, when you take a look back, you find there's like an auntie somewhere or a jaja somewhere. So
My
I thought
aunties
maybe
are quite vibrant. Like we're a big clan. Like if you meet my sengas, because I remember when we were going through like the Coachella stuff and the
which
Conjula
just
stuff.
happened, right?
Yeah, my Coachella just happened. I've not posted it yet, but I will. When I was going through the stuff Michael has to pay for, and it was like, wait, you have how many sangas? I was like, that's me like bringing him down. Like,
Oh gosh, so is it one of those?
We have like 20 sangas.
So do you feel like you're going to have to apologize after everything's done? You'll be like, I'm sorry.
He understands. He understands when I think every day I have to school him about Ugandan culture. I'm like, yeah, we're meant to do this, we're meant to do that. But yeah, my personality.
One of your videos on YouTube where I think he hugged your mom.
Oh
and your
yeah.
and I was so amused because it is so taboo. But hey, it's understandable.
Every day I teach him, like, oh babe, you're not meant to do that. Oh babe, you're not meant to do that. But he's actually as friendly as I am, so I get it. Yeah.
Okay.
He's an Englishman he's a happy boy
that's
as
what he
well.
was saying. He's like, I'm English.
I'm English. We hug.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, he's
Okay.
friendly. I love it.
How long have you known each other?
Michael, we've known each other for over 2 years. But the thing is, because I'm such a catch, for as long as, I think from our first date, we took each other very serious.
Okay.
Immediately. So I think the minute, because Michael is the sort of person, once he makes his mind up, he's all in. Because from the minute he said, we're official, he was like, yeah, you're moving in, and yeah, it's done. Like, we've just, from when we decided, because our first date was heavenly.
Oh.
Seriously, from the first day we met, we spoke, I think, pretty much the whole night. Like, I think we both walked away saying, this is too good to be true. Like, it just felt like, nah.
So you just connected.
Yeah, we just connected. I promise you, everything I've ever wished for in a person, he is that person. And I've always said to women, because I do my talks, Let's Talk About Mami Deb and stuff, I've always said to people, just tell God what you want. Because I naturally am a very clingy person. I've always said I love love. I love someone that will give me time. Someone that will make my interest their interest and his interest my interest. So it's like, to see that I've suffered my whole life, and then in the end I've ended up with someone that we are together 24 hours, 7 days a week.
Yeah.
He has the time because, he's worked hard. So it's like we can afford to be together all the time.
And build this life together.
So it's like he prioritized. Let me tell you, the things I actually found attractive about Michael, to me, it's the little things that he takes so, like, to him, it's like, that's nothing. I remember I went for my birthday in Jamaica, and then he dropped me to the airport, and then at 3 a.m, that's when I was landing back in the UK. He went, because he was living in Somerset, so he drove from Somerset, which is like 3 hours, to
pick
the
you
airport.
up from the airport.
So he drove from Somerset to pick me from the airport, and then dropped me to my parents' house in Beckton, which is in London, which is another 2 hours, then to drive back to Somerset. I was like, you could have called me a cab. He's like, no, I just wanted to see you. So little things like that.
Yeah.
So to me, I like the little things, you know. I'm not the girl. However much I like nice things, I like the little things. I like someone that is so attentive. He respects your time. He looks at what is important to you, you know, like. So yeah, I was sold. So like, yeah. So that's why I'm like, people look at, oh, you've only known him for like over 2 years. But to me, I'm like, it was from the minute we met each other.
Yes.
I made my mind up. I was like, I know this is the right man for me, because I'm like, who does things like this, you know?
That's so sweet.
Yeah, he was just
And
so
happiness
sweet.
looks good on you, can I say?
I know, he keeps
right?
me smiling. That's why I'm like, I don't care what people's perception is when it comes to who you should end up with. I promise you, believe it or not, I never thought I would end up with a white man.
Okay.
However much, to me, I don't see color. When I'm with Michael, I don't see his age. I don't see his race. I don't see... he doesn't see, you know, I would like to think, I don't think he sees like, oh, I'm dating a black girl. We are just two souls that connected, and he's a good person. Like, if I'm to describe a good person, Michael is the kindest, sweetest, loving man. Yeah. I don't want to get emotional, but yeah, he's my guy.
Clearly.
He's my guy, you know. Tambonya, like I don't suffer, you know. You never wonder when he goes.
Well, you know, people actually say that healthy relationships shouldn't feel like work.
Yeah.
It should just come easy.
It's so easy.
There should be no
yeah.
strife. I mean, when we're younger, we're told the butterflies and
No,
the nerves
yeah,
and oh my God. But apparently that is not good
it's
for
about
you.
kindness. Someone that every day you don't wonder, oh, I wonder how I'm going to survive today. No, you know that you're living with someone that's considerate of, you know, like. To me, now I look forward to like the rest of our lives, because we've lived together for, it's coming to 2 years.
Yeah.
We've been living together, and it feels like 5 minutes. Like, to me, it's just flown by, you know.
I'm listening to you and you're talking about what he does for you.
Yeah.
And just before we started filming, you said that
Yeah.
your number one job is taking care of him
Yeah.
and the kids, right?
Yeah.
And I thought,
His happiness is a priority to me. What he eats, what he drinks, how he looks.
taking care of your person is really what it should be about.
Trust me, it brings me satisfaction knowing that he's eaten, he's well, he's happy. And I think it took him a while to actually understand that those things are important to me.
That's probably one of your love languages.
Yeah, I
right?
love looking after people. Like, it's in me.
Yeah.
You know, everyone around me, I feel like if my business is doing well, anyone that works for my business should be doing well.
Yeah.
And if in the house, you know, like, let me tell you, I've been with my staff for a long time, and even they see that even when we now live with Michael, their lives had to change. Because when he first moved to Uganda, because I've had the staff that I have even before I moved to Uganda.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, like I've been, Malakai's nanny, I had her before I had Malakai.
Oh.
Yeah.
And that was here?
Yeah, it was
So
here.
would you be back and forth?
Yeah, I've been back and forth for such a long time, because I've tried to move to Uganda so many times. This is my very first permanent.
Okay.
Yeah, my very first time.
Because you grew up in the UK,
Yeah, I
right?
grew up in the UK, but I first moved to Uganda in 2016. 2016, yeah.
So did you come to like look at the lay of the land?
Now
start
came to get
business?
married.
Oh!
I've been married before. Yeah, I was married. I was married for 1.5 years. Yeah. It's such a long story. Yeah. I came, did a Coachella, Kwanjula, did a white wedding, and then I moved. It didn't work out.
Yeah.
Because it just didn't feel right.
These things happen.
Yeah. It was a lonely marriage. It was so lonely. Yeah, it was very lonely. He's not a bad person. Yeah.
But he was not the right person.
He was not the man for me, and it's okay. And I thank God that I've learned from that situation, and I feel like after that situation, because how do I don't even want to
Maybe you were even more intentional about what you wanted.
Yeah.
You knew better what it is you need in a partner.
Yeah, because we moved in together on our wedding day.
Oh.
Yeah.
So you hadn't lived together?
No. He was here. I was in the UK. Because I met him, I met him when I was here on holiday. Because my parents have always made sure that I come back to Uganda.
You must know home.
Yeah, you must know home. So I've always come back to Uganda at least once a year for 2 weeks.
Okay.
So one of those holidays, because every time I used to come to Uganda, I would go to church, and then I met him in church. At 7th at Makere, that's where I used to go to church. So I'm Adventist, so I'll go to the Advent Center, and then he came to me, he was talking to me, and I never thought it would lead to anything. This is my ex-husband, because to me, physically, he was like not my type, and I thought we'd just be friends. We spoke for at least 6 months when I went back, and then eventually, because I used to work a lot, so I never had a lot of people that I speak to on the phone, but he was that one person that was consistent. And for me, love
quality time and consistency.
Yeah, consistency. He was consistent, and he would check on me, and then eventually, you know, it seemed that it made sense to be in a relationship with someone that is so reliable. He checks on you, you have a bad day. He was just there. But then when he did propose on one of the holidays, I was back. He proposed, and then we made a decision that I will move to Uganda. He didn't want to come to the UK. So I moved to Uganda. I mean, when we made the plan that I'm moving to Uganda, I told my parents. My mum was like, you know, if you think he's the right man, you really want to move to Uganda? I was like, yeah, because my mum knows I love marriage. Like, my mum's always said, oh yeah, galobo form, boy, you were born for marriage. She's like, you love, you know, a family, you just love. So with that situation, when I spoke to my dad was like, Debbie, you love nice things. I don't think this man can support your lifestyle. Yeah, my dad's very honest.
And our family know us best.
Yeah. And
even though sometimes we fight it.
So daddy was like, unless when you go to, because my dad was like, the lifestyle you've had in the UK, to maintain that lifestyle in Uganda, you need, she was like, Debbie, I can't see you going to Uganda. A different
kind of person.
Yeah, she was like, I can't see you going to Uganda and settling for a job that pays, let's say, 1 million, 2 million, even 3, even 5. He was like, Debbie, the way you love money, the way you love to work, the only way you can survive is farming. So he told me to get into farming. That's when I actually got into farming.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, my dad was like, start a farm. So my dad helped me start, not financially, like he gave me the guidelines, and then I was working. And then because we had made a decision for me to move to Uganda, I quit my dream job. I was working my dream job at the time because it wouldn't allow me to do, because it was shift work. I was a guest experience manager at St. Martin's Lane Hotel. So I was, you know, like I was meeting everyone. I loved it. You know, you get like Snoop Dogg's PA send you his requirements, so you make sure everything that they need is ready in their room. He would have like the whole 6th floor like off when he checks in.
How long had you been doing that?
I did it from when I left uni. So I was at St. Martin's Lane for at least 3 years. Like, you guys, I met
So it was your dream job?
It was my dream job. It wasn't paying that great, but I would get a lot of commission on upgrading rooms. So when you can convince someone to leave like a studio and go to like a penthouse, you get 10% of the actual rate. So I was I was the upsell queen. Yeah, I would make a lot of money on upsells. You know, I met Timberland. I was partying with him and his wife. You know, like it was the life. And it was in the heart of London. Like,
I'm starting to understand where your dad was coming from.
Yeah, my dad was like,
my child.
And then I would travel a lot. Like me and my friends after university, we went around Europe. Like we were traveling. like
Because you said like every birthday you go
yeah,
somewhere.
every birthday we would travel. So it's like it's 4 of us and it's 4 birthdays. So everyone's birthday we're in like I've always said my whole life every time it's my birthday, I want to wake up in a different country. I don't want to be in Uganda. I don't want to be in the UK. I just want to wake up and I'm in Paris.
Somewhere
I want to wake
else.
up. Yeah. That's pressure on whoever I'm dating. Look at Michael. Michael's like, Michael knows, he knows what he's signed up for.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, so because of my lifestyle, Daddy was like, oh no, somewhere like Uganda. Oh no, so. But I was like, because I grew up in church. I grew up like as a youth leader in my church.
And you wanted a family.
I've always wanted a family. It's to me that was happiness. If you ask Debbie, what's happiness to you? To me, is husband, children, and living happily ever after. Putting my kids to bed. To me, that's always been my priority. So because I preferred that over flying around Europe, you know, doing this, doing that. You know, having celebrities come in and like you literally go home to your like I'll be that friend that I'm always telling you, if you see my phone ring, just have an outfit ready because tonight we're partying with Timberland or Nas. Nas.
Good times.
Yo. But obviously you wouldn't do anything dodgy, but it was just a nice lifestyle, especially in your 20s before you get married. I've always encouraged women travel, travel.
So before that time, that was 2016, you said.
Yeah.
Had you lived in Uganda for any like period of time?
So going back,
because you had come back with your parents.
No, I was born in Uganda.
Okay.
Yeah, I was born in Uganda in Rubaga Hospital, and then we lived in Old Kampala.
Yes.
From what I remember, when Old Kampala, my dad went to the UK. After Grace was born, which is my baby sister, my dad went to the UK in 1990.
Oh,
literally, like he went so early. So when my dad went to the UK, he would send money to me and my mom. He'd always my dad has always put it in my head that I want my children to have the best life.
Yeah.
So I grew up knowing that a dad does whatever it takes for his children to have the best life. So he always made sure. So like primary, we all went to Kampala Parents. Kampala Parents then was the school. Ay.
It was
Because I remember we used to travel. Like girl guides would do like such crazy things. You know, we went to South Africa at one point. My first trip to the UK was actually through like Kampala Parents, girl guides. Yeah, girl guides went to the UK. I remember my dad
happened. I wonder.
It was.
I was a brownie. I remember as a brownie.
It was the life. I remember. Actually, my dad actually hosted the teachers and I think some of them even stayed behind. They didn't.
they didn't come back. No.
My dad was like, "Yo, these women are still here," and I think at one point even had us on a boat. Like when we were growing up, my dad.
Even your childhood had a lot of travel.
Yeah, my dad worked really hard. Even my mum worked hard, but when she was with us in Uganda, from what I remember, she would still work, but obviously we had a great life because my dad was also sending money from the UK. And then, unfortunately, my dad got very ill. He got very, very ill at the age, how old was I when my dad got ill? I remember everyone went to the UK apart from me and my brother Casey. When my dad got ill, to a point, like I think that's how even we all got like our visas, because the doctor said your family needs to come and say goodbye. Like it was that bad. He had a tumor on his brain.
Oh no.
And they told him operating would kill, like it would be so dangerous. So I think they dried up the
tumor,
the little seed on his brain, they said. And then after drying it up, they said he will never walk again. But my dad, being my dad, was like, I will never step in a wheelchair ever over my dead body. So hence why his right hand side is
a little weaker.
Yeah, it's a little weaker, but he walks. He's never been in a wheelchair, and that's like 100 years ago. He's walking, praise God. But that's when all my family went to the UK.
And that's when you eventually
No,
also
I
joined.
didn't go because I was going to sit PLE. Yeah, so I stayed behind. My mum left me with my auntie in Kauko, Mama Betty. She's such a blueprint in my life because she helped me out a lot in my childhood, because when all my siblings went, apart from Casey, went to the UK.
That must have been a bit rough.
It was.
I mean, even though you know you're staying for school, it kind of feels as a child, you feel like they left you behind,
they left
right?
you, yeah. But my auntie's house was lit. Like she's like really doing well. Like
Okay.
she had a beautiful house.
So you're like, it's okay, I'm good.
Yeah, because to me, I was like, they've gone to nurse my dad. And because as a child, I didn't know what's going on. And I went to Auntie Betty's house. We call her Mama Betty. Mama Betty. Her children, even though they're my cousins, like my sisters. So it was fun. It was fun growing up at Auntie Betty's house. Next door, I met my best friend at the time called Rachel. So we'd be on the fence. Like it was fun until my dad was like, enough, come join the family. So that's when I left shortly. I think like a year, 2 years, I left and went to the UK and joined everyone.
Okay.
Yeah, joined the family. And then my brother Casey came later. And then,
You have 4 siblings, 2 girls, 2 boys, right?
we're a lot. So it's a bit complicated.
Okay.
So, mommy and daddy have me. So my mom and my dad have 5 children.
Okay.
So that's 2 boys.
And 3 girls.
3 girls.
Yes.
And I'm the middle child.
Okay.
And then my parents, when I was in the UK, got divorced.
Okay.
They got divorced when I was in college. I was doing my A-levels, so they got divorced. And then when they got divorced, they were divorced for 3 years. So while they were divorced, my dad had a son called Austin, who's he's very dear to my heart. So during their divorce, my dad had Austin, and then they remarried each other when I was 18.
I kind of knew you were going to say it, but I'm like, wait, what?
They got married again when I was 18. So yeah. So I have 3 brothers and 2 sisters. Yeah.
Okay. So now you're 3 girls, 3 boys.
Yeah.
Are you close?
I'm close to my siblings, yes. Austin, I would love for
Are any of them here or they're all?
No, everyone's I'm the only one here.
Okay.
Imagine. But at least I have Michael.
Yes, you do.
No, everyone's in the UK. So me moving to Uganda, now that I'm with Michael, me moving to Uganda was a decision me and Michael made. We're like, we've left both our families in the UK and let's make it work in Uganda together. So we're each other's family.
Yeah, so you're building your life here.
Yeah.
Okay, so farming came way before.
Yeah, farming came way before.
That was your dad's advice.
My dad advised me to do farming, and
how has it been for you though?
It's been really good. And my dad was right. The lifestyle I had in the UK, trust me, you can even have a better lifestyle in Uganda because now you're working for yourself. Yeah. So working for myself in Uganda has been the best thing.
Well, you know, some people have horror stories.
No, I have a lot of horror stories. Mine are even worse. But I keep a smile on my face and don't bury people.
Because it's one of those things you have to go in with passion.
Yeah, you have to have the passion for it. I keep telling
it's
Michael,
long term.
Yeah.
It's long term.
You have to have the passion for it. So, because for me, farming was something I said, let me do it because it's the only way I can maintain this lifestyle. And it's what supported my lifestyle, believe it or not, because selling eggs wholesale, to me, I wouldn't have achieved what I've achieved, because the only way it was bad is COVID. Like COVID was something else. COVID got me to a point where I wanted to go door to door knocking, giving like
these eggs, right?
Eggs. Yeah. Because when they closed off the borders, everyone, because I have one guy that takes my eggs like once a week, wholesale, and he takes it to Sudan, Kenya, whatever.
So you already had your system.
Yeah,
in
I had
place.
a system. When they stopped him from taking eggs abroad, now everyone that has eggs, they're like flooding. Like the market
No,
was
I remember they were
flooded.
so cheap.
They got to like 4,000 Chile.
Yes, a tray.
Bad. It was bad. It was bad. I got people, I'm like, you hire a tuk-tuk and tell him, move my eggs. He'll disappear. And then you get police, look for this guy. Hey, COVID.
Oh, wow.
COVID was something else. And then that's when I was like, you know what, let me give it a break. I was like, let me go back and look at things because this is too much. So I went back. I was like, every time, by the way, this is the good thing about having a passport, like a British passport. When things are hard, you go back, no chupa. You're like, let me go back and hustle. But my kind of hustling is like different because even before I made the decision to move to Uganda, when I was like in my first marriage, when I left that amazing job, I quit it so I can have a job that will allow me to have several jobs. So I quit that job because it needed all your time. So I was like, I need a job.
So you needed something that was more flexible.
Yeah, it would allow me. So I left that St. Martin's Lane front desk job I became a PA, like a legal PA. So I was a legal PA in a law firm called Lester Aldridge.
Okay.
So I was a PA to like 4 partners, and you do 9 to 5. So at 8, I was then working in a nursing home where you're helping elderly women like take their medication.
That's that hustle.
Yeah, so I was basically just monitoring medication, and then you make sure you watch them, you take notes how they've been, and then after they go to sleep, you do your notes, you go to sleep. So I was like, I'm even paid to sleep, because you're paid to sleep there.
Wow. So that you're essentially on call
yeah,
at any
you're
point
always,
in time.
yeah, you take notes like, oh, she slept through the night, da, 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 da. And then in the morning, I go back to the law firm. So I was doing that Monday to
Oh my
Friday.
God, that's crazy though.
And then on weekends, I was working another job where I was decorating weddings. So I'm decorating weddings, but I had a group of...
Because you had a business, right?
Yeah, that was my first business outside after I left university, because I went to Kingston University, did business with law. So
business, because I was wondering, you said you were legal.
Yeah, I did law. I did law at uni. So it was my first business after I left uni. So after I left uni, I started Golden Events. So on weekends, I would decorate weddings. But every time I would come to Uganda...
Oh my God, that hustle is no
But I was
joke.
decorating weddings, but then I was also... I had a group of girls, we were dancers. So we would dance on the wedding, we'd do Maganda.
Now I understand, Daddy. It's like, my child, the way you like to work and the way you like to live your life. Oh my
And then
gosh.
on Sundays, I had like, there's like a place that does day parties, like they do barbecues. I would collect money on the doors. I would collect money. So I had like at least 4 jobs, plus my own and then with the decorating, I would, because in the UK, you can't pay people quara.
Yeah, you do it yourself.
Yeah, so I would, my dad, my mom, my sisters, sometimes they would help me.
No.
Oh, my daddy and mom have really helped me out a lot. So they'll be like, they wanted to support my dream, because I really wanted to be a decorator, like for weddings. I did it for quite a while. So
what happened to it?
I moved to Uganda, and Uganda's different, because in Uganda, in the UK, to decorate weddings, everything has to be yours. So I owned a lot of stuff.
Okay, and here people outsource.
Yeah, and I didn't know how to. And then I realized they're so good at what they do. Let me focus, because you can only focus on so many things. Because when I came to Uganda, my focus was on farming.
Now, you were saying farming for you has had its ups and downs,
It's had very, very many downs, because you end up working with wrong people. But when you step in and manage it yourself, that's when you really see the fruits of your labor. So, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So when we met, you said it was just like a regular day for you. I think you were on the school run, and then you're probably going to go to the farm.
Yeah.
And I found that so refreshing as well. Because I know, I think I watched an interview done by maybe a friend of yours. She was asking you a few questions and some of the rumors and things like that.
Yeah.
And if someone were to watch you on the reality show that has just been done,
Yeah.
they probably have an idea that your life is so different.
Yeah.
But then at the same time, I'm like, no. Even on your own channel, you're showing, what
Yeah.
you're passionate about. You're showing the farm, your
Yeah.
family, things like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Are there any other? Because it cracked me up when you said someone said you were 36, and you're like, no.
Yeah, but that I think that was 2 years ago.
Yeah, that's a while back.
Yeah, because now I am coming to 36.
But we're not yet there, right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
No,
But what
no,
are some of the things that you know?
the rumors people say about me?
Or things that are just so not right?
The first one that used to really shock me, people used to say that, oh, I had my boobs done. I used to be like, girl, I wish that these were man-made. These are from heaven.
How you carry your bust, because
You
I'm
know?
a big busty
Yeah,
girl.
people-
I love it. And I'm like, no one knows what we have to go through
What we have
for
to go
these
through.
ladies.
Because it decides what you're gonna wear. You have to plan your outfits way ahead, like way ahead.
Yeah.
So
So
that
people said you paid for your boobies?
yeah, people are like, oh, her boobs are fake. I think before childbirth, the way my boobs were before I had Malachi, and then after having Malachi, because I breastfed for 2.5 years, and they just stayed. Because my mom always told me,
Wait, they didn't go back?
they didn't go back. They literally, I think my mom always told me, never take your bra off. That's the key. Even in the shower, keep your bra on. Because, like, no matter what you're doing, keep them up. And that's what I did. Just never take your bra off. I don't know if it works. If it doesn't work, I have no idea. Because my boobs stayed. I think they were bigger. Because they were quite big when I was breastfeeding.
Yeah, they must have
Yeah,
gone down
they
a bit.
shrunk,
But naturally, I think they
Yeah.
get bigger.
But I think also I did put on weight. And when I put on weight, the things that get big are my bum, my boobs, and sometimes my cheeks.
They definitely, I think, got smaller. But yeah, our
So
boobs
that
put on
rumor
weight
about
and
my
lose weight.
boobs, that was silly. And then what else? The thing is, I learned to I learned to ignore them because most of the stuff you hear
Is
was
this
so
recent
laughable.
though? Is this recent or has it always been since?
The boob thing was after Malachi because that's when they were, And then people try to make me look. I mean, people try to always say I'm older than I actually am because they think it hurts me. I think because of how much I've done at my age, people are always like, oh, she must be in her late 30s. But I don't, do you know why it doesn't, the reason now I don't mind it is because I'm dating an older guy. So if they make me seem older, I'm like, yeah, me and him, we're right there.
We're together in this.
Yeah, so I don't mind. Like,
all right.
false rumors never get to me because in my mind I'm like, if only people knew, if only people knew. So yeah.
And what matters is the people who are important in your life.
Yeah.
Always say if you surround yourself with the right people and they really know who you are, what's true, what's not true,
Yeah, it never.
the rest is noise.
Yeah, the rest is always background
But
noise.
then you decided to go on a reality show.
I know. I think the reason a reality show.
Why did you decide?
Why?
Why did you say yes?
Because naturally, if you know me, I'm a very transparent person. Naturally, like I've always even said this when I was still dating. Like for me, what you see is what you get, and I always speak my mind. I'm always very transparent. That's why I was so confident. Because in my mind, I'm like, I don't have any secrets. I don't have like stuff in my closet, like skeletons in my closet that I'm ashamed of. And everything about me that would be ashaming to some, Michael knows.
Okay.
And Michael is like my life.
And that's what matters.
Yeah, and that's what matters. So I was like, if Michael knows it, like, it just made sense because I was like, why not, And I've always liked to think, I'm like, I've been seeing this online. People are like, Mami Deb's life is content. Like, so I was like, why not? And if it meant, to me, I was like, we're showing Africa or the world that Uganda is amazing.
Yes.
Because when people see what we did, they think we're crazy. Like, Michael left his life in the UK to move to Uganda for good. Like, he sold his house, he sold his cars.
Is that really crazy though?
No, to some it's seen as crazy.
But Uganda
to
is
move
such
to
a beautiful
Africa.
country.
So I was like,
you
let's
can have
show
such a
people
wonderful quality of
Uganda.
life here.
Yeah, I was like, to people, even in the UK, even before Michael, they think leaving the UK and moving to Uganda is so crazy. And I'm like, trust me, people don't realize, first of all, I hate employment. I love working for myself.
Yeah.
One, and the quality of life here, especially when you're a mom, you know, when I tried to have this life that we have here in the UK, even when I was living with Michael, it was quite hard. I remember Michael was like, I think what you love about Uganda is Malakai's nanny. Let me bring her here.
Yes.
And then
We are blessed to have help. We need it.
So before Michael actually decided for us to move to Uganda, we got our staff passports. Because Michael was like, if I bring them to the UK, maybe you'll be happy here. But then I was like, still not. Because when you go to nursery, like the kids' nursery, like Malakai's nursery, and then
daycare.
Yeah, I'm like, I don't know. I don't want to say they were racist, but it's like there's so many things you're like, I wouldn't be going through that if we're in Uganda. Like I'm always arguing, like there's things they do at the kids' nursery, and you're like, I promise you she's racist. I don't know. Every day I would come home and I'm like, Michael, she's racist. She's racist. Go tell her. Go do something. And Michael's like, I think I drive him mad. Because I'm always like, go tell her, you know. And obviously, I didn't mention this before, but when I was in my first marriage, because it was so lonely,
Yes.
he used to work in Masaka and he was away Monday to Friday. And he would only come home on a Friday night.
Oh, wow.
And he'll be at church all day Saturday.
Wait. This is a new marriage. And you were apart that long?
Yeah, we were always apart. So I would only be with him on Sunday. Even on Sunday, he will be at football till 4 p.m. Like he plays football. So because I was so lonely in that marriage, I found Mulunji, my daughter. I found her at the farm.
Okay.
She was always there by herself. This was at a very young age. It was like, you know, when every time you go to the farm, someone's like, oh, your mwana genda kufa or something. Like, I was like, how is no one looking after this child? And they're like, oh, tatawe wu yo neta fayo. And then I went and spoke to the dad. I was like, why don't you look after me with this? They call it kajanja. Me with my English kajanja.
Like, what's going on?
Yeah, I was like, why don't you know, because she's not okay. It was like, in his words, he was like, ezimu janjaba, what should he, he was like, taking her to hospital, I wouldn't waste such kind of money. He's like, wafida we muzika. That's what he said. And I was so angry when I heard that. So the next time I was there, he had beat her so bad. You guys, I wanted to get him arrested. I was like, this is not okay. So me and my mom was like, you know what? Let's see what we can do for Mulunji. We spoke to him, he was like, Mutwale, like he didn't care.
So he gave her away.
Yeah, he knows we have her, so we're like her legal guardians. But every time we do go to the farm now that it's 5 years later, he tells people, oh, that's my daughter. So he knows we have her, but he didn't care. Yeah, he didn't care. So that's when I became, so Mulunji was my first love when it comes to, and that's another thing people say online, because when I became a mom on my own, biologically, like having my own child, people are like, oh, you treat Malakai different from how you treat Mulunji. People don't understand how you guys, Mulunji was my first love. Mulunji she actually, you know, when your life is so bad in my marriage, that furious moment, when you're so unhappy, to me, she was the only happiness I had. Yeah. So obviously, we've come a long way, me and Mulunji. And, you know, after my marriage, I was depressed. I went back to the UK. I disappeared from the world. I was ashamed.
What, that the marriage had failed?
Yeah. You guys, people don't realize when your marriage fails, you feel like, my business can fail and I can survive. Like anything but your marriage.
But also, I think because of the way you looked at marriage,
because
of what you had given up for it.
Yeah, because I felt like people came from the UK, you know, people bought tickets, people were invested. We had a whole big wedding, a whole big kwanjula.
But they did that for you.
No, but it's like to see that, you feel like you've let everyone down. And I really did try. Like, there's a lot I really did try. To me, I gave it 100%.
No, I understand that was your reality, but
so when it got to a point that this is between life or death, I was like, no, I can't. And then I went back to the UK. I went and I was like, you know what? Because to me, I thought, by the way, when I left my marriage, that's the worst time of my life. I didn't have money. Like,
So you left with nothing.
I left with nothing because now my businesses were like, bougie was like dry. Because I started bougie when I was in my first marriage.
Yeah.
So bougie, you know, to keep bougie going, bougie needs money. Bougie is a very expensive brand. You know, I'm shopping from Paris.
It's a bit like a luxury
Yeah,
brand.
I'm shopping from Paris. I'm shopping from London. It needs money. It's like, how do I say it? It's like, it needs a lot of breast milk. I don't know. Like that's how I looked at. That's why when it comes to business, I always give business my all. So Bougie needed a lot of money. It needed a lot of capital. The farm, now that I'd taken over, the condition it had been left in, it needed a lot of money.
So you were digging your way back?
Yes,
like
I made a
way.
decision. Let me go back to the UK. And I made a promise to myself. I was like, I'm going to be great. I'm not leaving Uganda because my marriage has failed. I will stay in Uganda, but I'm going to be the best at what I do.
Okay.
I was like, best revenge is let me be the best version of myself. I said that to myself. And I was so ashamed to even go back to my church in the UK because I was a youth leader at the church, you know. And you felt so ashamed. Everyone's marriages are working. People, all my youth, everyone is now married. And now you come back after 5 minutes of marriage. I felt so ashamed. I was like, I won't even go back to that church. I found a hospice. My mom, I found a hospice where you assist people, like assist people before they die.
Before they die.
So I was like, let me go into this job. They give you accommodation, they give you food, you have zero expenses. You just disappear from the world and you just work.
Yeah.
And that's what I made my decision. Let me do that while I'm putting money back into Bougie. I'm putting money into the farm. I expanded Bougie during that time. I expanded the farm during that time. And then at that job, I met a Ugandan, because obviously you're there 24 hours. There was a Ugandan guy that was working there. And we were such close friends. We were always working. And then I had Malachi.
Okay.
So I had Malachi with the work colleague. But we weren't, you know that guy that's just your friend?
Okay.
And
a good friend.
A good friend.
But not relationship.
The thing is,
material?
We did get into a relationship, but emotionally, I wasn't there because I always used to tell him.
You were still healing?
I was still healing. I just got divorced. But the thing is, he was my best friend.
Oh.
And the day I realized that, I actually thought I wanted to be with him because I remember when me and him had a fallout over work, like work stuff. We didn't speak the whole day. I almost died because I was like, he's all I speak to. Like, and then that's when that day is when we began a relationship because I realized he's all I have. He's a Ugandan guy. I've actually never shared this story with anyone because people have always asked, what's Malachi's dad? I've let them create their own stories. People have actually always, there's someone even said, or maybe some married guy, because people always think if you can't talk about the dad, he must be married. I'm like, no, darling, I don't open my legs to married men. Never. Never. I respect marriage too much. He was just a guy that was Ugandan and we were always in each other's spaces for a very long time.
Yeah.
And then we had a baby. But you know what? This is how you know womanhood is he carried on with work. Now I'm pregnant.
That's what happened?
Now I'm pregnant. And I remember I hid the pregnancy because I was like, I haven't saved up for cages. Because, by the way, I used to work 24 hours, 7 days a week. Like,
so your whole focus was just getting back up on your feet.
Yeah, I was like,
getting the business, the farm back.
Yeah, I was like, I need to be the best. I need my farm to grow. I need Bougie. Like,
so who did you hide the pregnancy from?
My mom.
Oh.
And at work, I was hiding it at work because I didn't want them to cancel my shifts.
Okay.
Because the money was good. The money was so good. Can you imagine the way this job pays? The money I was getting at that job, is the same as 4 jobs. You know, when I was doing the 4 jobs, it was the same money.
But
this
emotionally, though?
Emotionally, it's not that bad because the first day on that job, I remember walking in and they were like, oh, you can sleep in this room. And then you sleep. And they're like, oh, in the morning, show up for morning meeting. It's going to be in the dining room. Da, 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 da. So you show up and they're like, oh, you're new. What's your name? Da, 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 da. Where did you sleep? I was like, oh, in room 238. Oh, they're like, oh, that's Marjorie's room. Wait, she died yesterday. Wait, like, Marjorie's dead? I'm like, wait, so someone died and I slept in their room that very day?
So that was your introduction.
Yeah. And then I think they make you look after people. And then sometimes you could be giving someone a wash and during that wash, they're dead. And you call the nurse and like, oh, you guys just give her a wash again. And then, you know, we're going to call the family. And then, you know, we're going to call the doctor to register the death. So you become numb to death.
Okay.
And then before you know it, there's some people you get really attached to.
That's the thing, right?
God, you get so attached. There's people you get so attached to. And then there's people that are so horrible. Like, they throw things at you, they punch you, and you can never do anything back. Like, it teaches you to, like, you can never hurt. But the thing is, you understand that they are hurting, they're in pain. By the way, you witnessed some people, and I'm that person at work. If you hurt a resident or a patient, I will report you because I can't stand abuse. So I remember there's a patient that as soon as she sees you, she's like, oh, Deborah. And then she spells your name, Deborah. My Deborah is here.
Oh.
And she's like, read me a story. So you sit with her. She's like, oh. And then you grow attached. Like, before you know it, you grow attached.
That's one of the toughest things, right?
Yeah. And then the most painful thing is when you come and they're like, oh, she passed away. There's a time I cried. And then you have people that pay to make sure that their relatives don't die alone.
Yeah.
Like, you're literally paid to just sit there. When you feel like they're about to die, just press the bell. So to me, it was easy and beautiful money because I enjoyed it. I was attached. I was so attached.
You have to have, I think, a very strong heart.
Yeah.
A big heart, but a strong heart.
I used to love it when my patients loved me back. Oh, it was so beautiful. And to them, the most precious moments is just going for a walk. Like, all they look forward to, like, in a day is Deborah's going to come and take me for a walk, you know? So I grew so attached to, like, people in such, like, I enjoyed it so much. Trust me, my intentions were to work till I was even 9 months. I was going to stay.
If you could have, you would have.
If I could. But unfortunately, my brother had an accident. He caught fire in the house.
Oh, no.
Yeah, it was really bad. My baby brother, Tim, his girlfriend was cooking. And I make sure your wives can cook because his girlfriend was cooking and she left.
This is funny, not funny.
Yeah, I think it's because he's taught us to laugh about it.
Okay.
Because she was cooking and left the oil on and then the oil caught fire. For oil to create fire.
She forgot about it.
Yeah. And then he was sleeping only for him to come downstairs and the kitchen's on fire. I don't know how he tried to get the pot, open the window to throw it out, only for the wind to throw it oxygen on him. Like, he was on fire.
Oh, no.
And then that's when the whole family came together. Like, we were all in Chelmsford Hospital in the UK. And then my mum just took one look at me. She was like, you're pregnant. I was like, wait, what?
Of course.
No,
of course she would know.
She was like, what did you do?
Like, how far along were you at that point?
I was 3 months.
Only 3 months?
To me, I wasn't even showing.
5 or 6.
I wasn't even showing. She just looked at me. She was like, you're pregnant. I was like, yeah. And she was like, I was about to say my dad's name, but she knew. She was like, it's him, right? I was like, yeah. And she was like, you're gonna have to stop that job. And I was like, no, but I haven't got enough money for what I'm trying to do. I've saved up for the eggs. I've saved up for the birds. I've saved up for the expansion, but sinafunas are cages. I was like, I still need money for cages. and I still need money for bougie. I still need money for this. Mommy was like, how much are you still waiting for? I was like, I still need like another, maybe like 250 million. You guys, my mom will complain about money. She'll complain that she doesn't have money for airtime. My mom gave it to me so I can quit that job. That's when I was like, never believe when your parents say they don't have money. My mom gave it to me, but we made a payment plan for me to pay back.
So you paid back.
Yeah, I think I give her 2.5 million a month, but I think I'll be paying it
until you don't know how far along.
No, I think I'm actually, it's almost done.
Okay.
Yeah, it's almost done.
Yes.
Yeah, so that's how Malachi came along. So my mom was like, quit that job, go back to Uganda. And I enjoyed my pregnancy in Uganda.
Good.
I would lay in bed and Jackie, who's Malachi's nanny, brings me puta with gonja.
Is that what you were craving?
I would, Bananga ate puta. Puta is fish. Mike, I'm translating for Michael because Michael
now perch.
Yeah.
Yes.
I would eat fish. I would lay in bed. She brings me bushera. That's why I'm like, to me, I knew I want to live in Uganda. I was like, I used to just
this
lay
life
in bed
is so good.
and my kilos would just keep going. And then I had to give birth in the UK, but then I'm like, I don't want to go back to the UK. There's no nannies. There's no housemaids. I don't want to do it.
Who's going to take care of me?
I hope this doesn't get me in trouble, but I hid my you know you're not meant to fly when you're heavy?
Yeah.
I hid my I stayed in Uganda until I was 8.5 months.
So you literally went back just to have the baby?
Yeah, I went back just to have the baby. But when I got to the airport, someone looked at me like, but I made sure I wore these really puffy dresses. And someone looked at me.
And sometimes the boobs help a bit.
She looked at me, she was like, aren't you pregnant? I acted so offended. I was like, how dare you? And then she was, are you sure? I was like, and then I just prayed. I was like, Lord, I pray I don't give birth for this plane. So I went back, and going back to the UK, it was hard. Like no one, making your meals. But my parents flew in actually, because my parents were in Uganda, but they flew in for so my mum came. Oh, thank you, Mommy. I love you so much. Mummy and Daddy came and helped me. My sister, Grace, I love you. She came, stayed with me in hospital. I gave birth in Royal London Hospital. My sister, my mum, they were there, like, See,
those are the times when you need your family.
That's what, like,
when you're sick, when you've had a baby.
During my divorce, having Malachi, that's when I really realized that family is everything. By the way, my marriage, when it was due, that's when I realized how much my mom meant to me. Because I would cry every day from when I left my marriage to, I think for like a year, me and my mom, I would cry every day. And she will call me at 2 a.m. She's like, I can't sleep. I was like, I can't sleep too. I'll be crying. She'll be crying. Like, we cried.
Oh, bless.
Like, yeah. So I always wondered, I'm like, I wonder how I would have survived this divorce without my mom. She was really there. Though my dad, on the other hand, was like, why are you crying for such a man? He was just going to...
Of course he doesn't understand. He's probably like, good riddance to good
crying,
rubbish.
Stop crying. He did A, B, C, D. Why would you cry for someone like that? I was like, I still wanted my marriage to work.
But you were grieving for the life that you had built in your mind, that you wanted to have. And when I build
my vision, you can't play around with it.
Yes, exactly.
Ask Michael. When I have a vision, you can't come and start building your own Picassos in it.
Okay, I want to ask about Kampala Cream. You've just wrapped up season 1, right?
Yeah.
What was that experience like for you?
Kampala Cream was a lot of fun. I won't lie to you, because I'm going to start with the fun stuff.
Okay.
Because the idea of having, like, the crew is like 15 people plus in your house, and you have hair and makeup. Michael, literally, and I thank God for Michael. You guys, if it wasn't for Michael, I would look like Nakaonde. Because Michael made sure my glam was always 10 out of 10.
Okay.
We sat with my team. I designed all these outfits because I was like, because I represent bougie, I can't look kwara kwara.
Exactly.
Yeah. So we designed, Michael, from when before. By the way, before my contract was even signed,
Yeah.
I told Michael I need at least like 15 wigs.
Oh wow.
Oh my god!
Uh-huh.
So like it's just been such an experience of glam, you know. So you want to always look your best because you're representing bougie. So the experience of Kampala Cream, the fun stuff for me has been having amazing outfits like made, you know, the wardrobe, the hair, the makeup, the zhuzh, like Tanya would say. And then the other positive side is the crew, you know. I've got to work with, to me, the best of the best. Judith and Joel are so good at what they do. Like, I feel like these guys need to be in Hollywood. I've watched reality shows and these guys are talented. Like, they're so good. The camera crew, like, it's just been so much fun. Like, it's been so exciting. Judith makes sure you feel like a star. Kumbe, I'm just Ntongo. She makes all of us, all the girls. And that's why it used to upset me when I see like other girls not appreciate what she's doing. She would make sure everyone feels like this is your moment. This is your moment, you know? When you're on set, if you cut a nail, there's like someone running, get a plaster. Da, 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 da. So it's been nice. Like the way she's treated
she
all
took
of
care
us.
of you.
Yeah. And wherever she is, you know, I hope that someone pampers her the way she's pampered all of us. You know, all of us. Like someone could upset you on set and she'll still treat them like she doesn't favor. And that's why people don't see that, but she doesn't favor anybody. Because to her, all of you are cast members.
Yes.
And the same with Joel as well, even with the camera crew, because they've been very strong. I think their strength is what has kept the show together. I think people don't realize how hard it is to pull off a reality show because you have to deal with people's emotions.
Yes.
Like it's real emotions. Things that, because
most people think that everything is stage managed. But they forget that you are living your life as you are doing the show.
Basically, it's your real life. The only difference is that now they're bringing cameras. And now, obviously, because the only thing I would say is that it's because
I mean, of course, there's a moment.
I look extra glam than I would.
And of course, we need a bit of drama.
Yeah.
Drama makes the show work.
But I don't think they put any drama on because the drama happens because it's there. Like, you're going to have different egos. You have women that have come with different egos.
And
different
you didn't know each other, right?
No. We met when we started filming. And everything that happens, you see it on the show.
Yeah.
You see everything as it happens. And people say things, you're mic'd, she's mic'd, and your jaw drops. And you're like,
I saw you with a few of those moments where you're like, is this really happening?
Just say that.
Is this really happening?
Only the producer can say cut. You're literally like,
are we still going? No, I
People
saw a
say
few scenes
things
where your
and you're
eyes
like,
were like, bing, and you were like, this is really happening right now.
But I wouldn't trade it. Like I won't lie, it's been fun. It's been fun.
A fab experience.
It gets messy when you see people go out of their way to dig dirt on you so they can come and say it on camera. You
weren't expecting that.
I wasn't expecting that because to me I was like, if I have no secrets, I have nothing in my closet.
And I've already shared everything.
I've always said to myself, I'm like, I'm not scared to do a reality show because I have nothing to hide. But people don't care if it's true or not, they will say it. Like, these girls will say stuff. They don't care if it's true or not. She'll just say it and be like,
Oh.
So that's what would piss me off because I'm like, that's what would upset me because I'm like, but it's not true. Why are you saying it? But then at the end of the day, one thing I've learned from season 1, I am responsible for my reaction. Michael always tells me, he was like, let people do and say whatever they want. The only thing you're responsible for is your reaction. And I'm like, but I'm not going to let people say things if they're not true. And he's like, Debbie, you can do
They will say what
calmly.
you can't control what someone else is going to do or say.
Yeah.
I think that applies to life in general.
Yeah. But then the only
You're
difference
only in control
with
of
the reality
yourself.
show is that now it's happening and you're on camera. And I think the difference is that in real, like, because it is, Kampala Cream is real life, but usually I would block such people. I will never see them again.
Yeah, you'd cut
but
them off.
now you're filming with them, and you have to keep seeing those
You have to
people
keep
again
interacting.
and again
Yeah.
and again. And that's how you end up with these outbursts where you're like, I'm tired. She keeps talking about because you have someone, she keeps talking about Michael. She keeps saying, you're lucky he's not landed yet on Amusheshe. Because you saw him, you're lucky you saw him first. He's not done the tour of Uganda. Like, you have people that coming for your marriage.
Oh, Lord
I should
have
stop saying
mercy.
marriage before Michael pays dowry, manang.
Well, at this point, we have claimed him. He's our husband. So there's no...
He is.
As I said before we started filming, I thought you were
Yeah.
already married.
I think it's Michael. I think Michael, in Michael's own words, he says, "What more do you want?" Because to Michael, marriage was just a piece of paper. He's like, "I will show you real commitment."
Yeah, commitment is
commitment to him is marriage.
It's every day. It's
yeah.
consistency. It's, yeah.
Because he's like, we've bought a penthouse with your name on it. You know, to him, he's like, that's reassurance. What more do you want? He's like, I've moved to Uganda. You know, everything I've invested in Sage Farm, which is in your name. Like, he's like, what more do you want?
Was there ever a moment, like in the beginning, where you doubted yourself, like going into the relationship?
What, doubting myself with Michael?
Yes, like... No?
I bet on myself every time.
Okay. Because I was just thinking about what you said, like when he's like, what more do you want? It's like, okay, did you not trust yourself?
No, because to me, commitment was marriage. It wasn't buying me a house. It wasn't buying me a car. It wasn't putting money in bougie.
So it was how you viewed it.
Yeah, because for me, all these things are beautiful, but to me, I want marriage, I want children. Like
I want family.
I want family.
Yeah.
I want a man that is my husband. I don't want a man that I'm living with and we have property.
Okay.
I'm not that chick.
Yeah.
I've never been, never will be. I'm a Christian woman. I'm an Adventist woman. Even though I wear jewelry. Because we're not meant to wear jewelry. But
wow.
yeah, I've always said I'm that woman. To me, that comes first.
Yeah.
So I think this is when I'm learning marriage, living with Michael. Because Michael's the most patient man living with me. God. No, he's patient. I mean, like, Michael's the sort of person, we can have a disagreement today. And then in the morning, good morning, baby. Da-da-da. I'm like, wait, we're still at war. What do you mean? And to him, it was yesterday.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, so this is what marriage is.
Yeah.
Oh, you love someone every day, but you're not angry with them every day.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm learning. And that's why I love him so much, because every day is a fresh start, you know? And even when we argue, he's like, my love for you never wavers. And I'm like, oh.
That's how it should be.
Yeah, so I'm learning a lot from, like, that's why I'm like, nothing, like there's no one that can ever say anything about Michael.
Well, good things, and you're clearly in a very happy place.
Thank God. It's only by the grace of God, honestly.
Yeah.
It's only by the grace of God. Everything I have is only by the grace of God.
And it's a reminder you've also had your ups and your downs.
Yeah.
You've had your dark moments.
Very
People
dark.
sometimes need to remember that.
Yeah.
That, you know, life is full of the dark moments, but also when you are celebrating and happy, you also have a right to share that.
Yeah. I think the worst time of my life was when I had to leave Malachi, because it got to a point where I had to leave Malachi in Uganda. Actually, I did try to make it work with Malachi in the UK, but I wasn't getting enough hours. Nursery was expensive.
So you had to leave him here?
My dad brought him back to Uganda.
Oh.
And that's why the nannies come in handy. So he was with nannies because my family's in the UK. It was horrible.
Yeah.
It was horrible. So for me, the best feeling in the world is putting my son to sleep and being able to be in the same house. Like, you wake up, you check on the kids, you see what they had for breakfast, you take them to school yourself.
I know we all approach parenting differently and
To
being a
me,
mother, but
that's
that to
the
me,
best
I drop
thing.
my kids at school every morning.
Yeah.
And I can't imagine
I
not
can't
being
put a
with my
price on it.
kids.
Yeah.
I don't know.
So to me, that's the best. Like, yeah, I'm happy. That's like to be in a house where I have a man that gives me peace. I put I look after the children. You know, you manage your business.
You can take care of the people you love.
Yeah. And I'm okay. Like, I don't have to, because even Michael always said, like, I don't want you to, like, we work so that we enjoy life. I don't want you to give too much of yourself into these things. And people don't even know this.
That's when maturity comes in, though,
Yeah.
because when you're younger, you're thinking, you know, I have to build this, I have to buy this, I have to do this.
Yeah.
But you must be able to have that balance, because that's how you take care of yourself.
Yeah. But, yeah.
So that crazy work schedule you had, hopefully now things are a lot different.
No. Things are done now, because Michael actually made sure that I don't have to do that, because he said that I've never shared this. What I was actually getting in the UK, that's what Michael gives me in allowance, so that I can still be mummy, be a good wife to him, and still be able to maintain my lifestyle.
Okay.
You know, because he knows I don't like asking for money. I hate asking for money. I'm not that girl that would be like, oh, I need this, oh, I need that. So he said, we sat down and worked out how much I need to be Debbie. And yeah, so I don't have to.
That's lovely.
Though, because of Kampala cream, my allowance might need to go up.
I am very sorry. That was not supposed to be on the show, but it has happened. I'm not in your mix with you. But okay, but that's lovely.
Someone check his pulse.
That's lovely. That you have someone who absolutely gets you.
Yeah, he gets me.
So what are your plans for your business this year?
This year, Sage Farm is on fire. I want it to be the biggest wholesaler when it comes to eggs. Like, I want us to be I want us to get there with the bad boys when it comes to eggs. Yeah.
So that's your focus.
Yeah. And then Bougie is, I'm hoping we can get like another branch, but I'm even hoping for like a branch in Kenya or Rwanda, or because I have a lot of clients that order from Kenya. So, and I've realized, no shade, but Kenya needs our style.
Yes.
It needs a bit of Uganda style. So, without shade, they could do with some bougie could do. I mean, Kenya could do with a bougie. So that's what I'm manifesting.
Okay.
Yeah.
That would be nice, because we don't have very many Ugandan businesses that expand outside.
And I want it all.
We've had so many Kenyan businesses coming to Uganda, but not enough of our
businesses. We're coming for their money.
Good.
Yeah. And then obviously I'm hoping me and Michael grow into like more businesses, because I think that's, people think Michael's with me because I'm pretty, but it's because I think he loved the drive he's so in me. You know, I don't like to settle for quara, you know. I love nice things because I'm willing for us to work for it.
For them.
Yeah. So I push him, even though he doesn't need all this farm stuff. I think he's doing it for my legacy, because I don't believe in just a good life here. I believe in generational wealth. I believe in being able to leave a great legacy. But in the meantime, enjoy your life, work for it, you know, and just push yourself to be the best version every day. Set goals, set standards, say that, you know, I want to achieve this by the end of the year. Because when I think of all the things we're achieving together, I've always thought it's a dream, but here we are, you know, because now we're getting married in the Maldives. You know, we got out, Michael proposed to me in Maldives, and then he did it again, but because he wanted people around and stuff like that, because he knew it's important for me to have the kids and friends. And then because we got engaged in Maldives, he was like, let's have a Maldive wedding. It was his idea. People think it's me. It's him. He's the one that his life is expensive. People think it's me. It's Michael.
I don't know if that's true, but okay. We'll take your word for it.
Yeah, I think he's the one that wanted a Maldives destination. Actually, we both did. Let me not put it on him.
Why
we both
not?
did. It was, Maldives meant so much to us because the first proposal was so sweet. He was like, just me and you, no cameras. Because he set like a nice thing at the beach. Actually, they did. He paid, because I think you can pay for a package. And then, so I think he was rushing me. I saw, because he's never anxious about me getting ready. You know, when we're in Maldives in the evening, you see him rushing you. I'm like, you never fuss what time we go for dinner.
You had no idea.
I had no idea. Though, sorry, baby, you didn't know this. I knew, because I designed my ring myself. So we came to Uganda with my engagement ring.
Okay.
Because he knows I'm so picky. So we designed it in London, in Heart and Garden, which is such a beautiful story. So when I designed it, I think I didn't even take him serious that day, because I went in a hoodie, and then the lady was like, oh, we designed the actual ring. And then she was like, okay, so that's 3,000 just for the ring. Da, 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 da. And then she was like, so what carat should we put on? And then she was like, oh, should we put 2? Should we put... And then Michael was like, what's the biggest diamond you have? That's when it caught my attention, because I was like, wait, what? I was like, wait. And then she was like, in the shop, we have 3 carat. But I can call around Heart and Garden. I'm sure we can find a 5 carat. He was like, that's what she'll put on her ring. Oh. And that moment made me feel like this woman was here looking at me like I'm quite because I came in my hoodie.
Because you were no hoodie, yeah?
You know? And now my man's like, find her the biggest rock in Heart and Garden. So... because I designed my ring, we kept it with my friend, because our stuff from the UK hadn't arrived yet.
Okay.
Because it was on sea. So we kept it with my friend. I shouldn't put her name out there before the people go raid her safe. So she actually, we did the wedding rings as well, so she still has them. So she mentioned to me that, oh, Michael picked up the rings before we left the trip.
Oh, so she kind of let it slip.
So I kind of thought, I was like, wait, we're going to Maldives for my birthday, and he's picked up the rings from Cindy.
Something might happen.
Yeah, but I wasn't, I don't know. Like, I've never wanted to pressure Michael about proposing, because we're both been married before, we're both divorced, and we made a promise to ourselves that if we ever get married, it's because we're so sure, because we never want to get divorced again.
Yeah.
Like, you guys, this is my last wedding.
So you're both intentional and committed.
So I kind of had an idea. Yeah, but when he did propose, it was so beautiful, because he was like, no cameras, just me and you.
Oh, look at you.
Yeah, I'm not on 1 knee but 2, and I'm not asking, I'm begging for you to be my wife. I was like, oh, I cried.
Look at you.
I called my mom. I was like, Mommy, Michael proposed. Thinking about it makes me want to cry again.
I can see that, and I am not going to cry here with you, no.
Yeah, so it's been a beautiful romantic journey. Like, yeah, I'm happy. I'm so happy.
Clearly very
because he's a good man, and I believe I'm going to continue being a good woman to him, because Jazzy Jayewala, like he's done so much for me. So yeah, I'm a happy girl. Who gives up their life in the UK to move to Africa? I remember at the golf course, his golf club in Wedmore, when we were leaving Somerset, we were doing like a farewell for him, and I was trying to read the room, and everyone like would take him in a corner, like, are you sure?
Do you know what you're doing?
Are you sure? Everyone gave him that "are you sure" moment of, are you really doing this? He's like, yeah.
But at any point in life, you can reinvent and recreate, and you know.
And even when we were leaving his home, by the way, that was his house for like 23 years.
Oh.
Yeah, he bought that house. He raised his children in that house. I remember when we packed the last load and Salabed took everything, and then we were leaving for the airport. I remember telling him, Michael, do you want to just stop and take a moment? He was like, what? We're late, Debbie, come on. I was like, baby, Debbie, let's go. Like,
so it's the sentimental side of you.
Yeah, I was like, baby,
decision's
you're
already
never
made.
going to see this house. He was like, it belongs to someone else now. We've sold it. Let's go. I was like, can you imagine even his last car, we sold it on our way to the airport?
Oh, wow.
Yeah, like, he was so not attached. And he's not a material guy. Even the penthouse we bought here, you can see that I spent more time looking at the house. He just came. I remember I just told him, Mike, I found a really nice house. He just came and was like, okay.
This is it?
Yeah. Okay. Like, you could see that he trusts you, and he's not that material, like, he's not materialistic to that extent where he's like, oh, you know, he just kind of lives it to you. And I've always told my mum, I was like, Michael's happiness is us together. That's it.
And that,
it's enough. And I've always wanted someone like that. If
Yeah.
you've known me as as when I was like younger, I've always wanted a man that will give me time. My love language, quality
time. That is
yeah.
very clear.
Yeah.
That's good. I have to say,
Yeah.
thank you for coming on the show.
Thank you. For
I know we've run out of time.
That's what I'm telling you. My mouth. That's why like people are like, Debbie is her own show.
No, you do, but also you're just open, and that
Yeah.
in the world today, it's not easy.
It's not safe.
It's
I've
not
realized.
easy, right?
Yeah, it's not.
And you know, your obvious happiness right now, I feel like some people probably wouldn't be happy for you.
Which
That's
is
the only
okay.
thing. As long as you
That's
protect
between-
it,
yeah.
that's what matters.
That's between them and their salvation.
That's
By the way, I've always said
drama.
people that don't wish others well are only bringing ugliness into their world. You wish others well, you bring good energy into your universe.
Absolutely.
So
Yeah.
you wish me horrible things, you're wishing bad upon yourself.
Have you?